this Kevin Vanderkoy added me on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, did he now?
That's it?
No, I mean messages, like
That's the tip of the iceberg?
yeah, tip of the iceberg, man. Like it was funny. It was funny. It was all harmless.
I was just trying to get to know, I was trying to get to know.
I mean, that's one way to put it. I was trying to get to know your sister, man. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to make her a Vanderkoy. It's like, oh,
No,
okay.
that was never my intention.
Yeah, you didn't plan on making her a Vanderkoy. You planned on hitting and running with that shit. Like,
Yeah,
I know
that's-
you.
She's a cutie though.
You know what, Ben? Though
course.
nobody likes a hypocrite. If you know what I mean.
Hey, I'm not denying shit.
Okay, introductions, guys.
Alrighty. Ben, go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and introduce the players?
Oh wait, I did one last time. We need to think of a new guy to imitate.
Harstem.
He's very hard to imitate.
Yeah, because most of the time Harstem imitates somebody else, so we have no idea who Harstem actually is.
I guess.
Oh, wait, Harstem's asking some kick-ass questions here.
Yeah, that is the question that has been on our
Oh yeah,
minds
you
since
can't.
the start of
Surely you
the
can't.
series.
Because they spawn in the air already.
Because the flying thing seems awful. Yeah, it does seem pretty bad. Like, this is what we've been saying too.
Yeah, so you think against Protoss? Yeah, but if you don't research it, surely, like...
I mean, there's going to be situations where you do like it, but like, say if you press land behind the force fields, for example, then that's cool.
Yeah, I totally agree with Snute though. It should be optional. This is the same thing as we've been saying throughout the entire series. An upgrade should never be something that could work against your own race in certain scenarios.
So what do you think is the likelihood that they will fix it?
I think it's very, very likely that they will make it an option, like an autocast toggle turn on and off. Like Blizzard has always addressed things like this in the past. Things that are supposed to be good but somehow can be used against you, they will address that. They did it with Taurus, they did it with battle cruisers, and I think they will do it with this as well.
Stop moving your leg, I can hear it, man.
Are you a leg shaker?
Yeah, he's a very stressed children, that Rotti.
Like the key to that
Ben,
is planting
I'm
your
not
feet on
Ben.
the floor.
I just want to share this with you, but my Twitch chat right now is getting very, very excited about the idea of you being my brother-in-law. I'm just
Really?
so... Yes.
I tell you what, we'll make one big esports family. You can have my sister. I'll have Targa's sister. Then
Oh, wow.
Targa can have somebody else's sister. Maybe Todd's.
I knew this was gonna head into me. Wow.
The chain continues. Then we got the biggest esports family in existence. That'd be sick.
That would be cool. Then
We'd be
all
like the
move to
fucking esports mafia.
Yeah, and we all moved to the same neighborhood.
There is already a massive esports family, just like we don't know about it.
We all just live in the same neighborhood. Like, hey man, I'm banging your sister. Hey man, I'm banging your sister.
Jesus Christ.
This escalated very quickly. I was more thinking about, like we all have these cute families with a car on the driveway and a dog running around, and then there's the master who's like, "Yo, I'm begging your sister." That's not what I had in mind at all, man.
There is like, imagine there is like a gaming house, and one room is for the pro gamers and the guys, and the other room is like for the sisters. It's like the official room. That would be, yeah.
Thanks for the people in chat who pointed out I had the score wrong. I had Snute up 1-0. I don't know. I guess that's just automated in my brain. Whenever I cast Snute, I have to update the score that he's leading in the series that I'm commentating. But it's actually different this time. It's just surprisingly pleasant.
Surprisingly pleasant.
As much as I love Jens, it's nice to see him down in a series for once.
As much as I love this guy, it's good to see him fucking lose.
No, I get along great with Snute.
Yeah, I don't think I've met anybody that hates Snute.
No, it's impossible. Well,
In fact, Nurchio didn't like him for a while.
really?
Yeah, I remember like on every Team Liquid forum, it was like...
Oh yeah, he used to say that he only made roaches, right? He was hating on the fact that Snute was a one-dimensional player.
Yeah, he was like...
Yeah,
What's happening, by the way? Why is he getting a roach warrant so fast? For defense, I hope.
because he's getting four-gated, mate.
You better not fucking rush. And actually, better question: why the fuck is Harstem forgetting?
Yeah.
Is this how you try to change this?
I
He was
think
like-
Harstem is the guy that would write in chat, "Money's money."
Money.
But I think actually no. Harstem, he wants to cripple Snute. He wants to kill the third base, like if there is one, which
And
there is
then
one
back
starting.
off, and
And
then
then back off, then be really far ahead and be like, yo, he
It's
made
a market.
Swarmos and I was on 5 base and I crushed him. Give me the money.
I know. We all know that one guy that gets extremely far ahead, but then doesn't kill you, and then takes another base and pretends like he was playing a macro game.
What does that mean?
I've done it a few too many times.
Are you? Okay.
It's like when you go up to 3 bases, you know, while you already won the game. It's like, guys, this was not an all-in at all. Despite the fact I'm on 8 gates with no forge and no robo. Really, this was not all-in. I had a transition ready.
Yeah, what's funny, once upon a time, I was in the gaming house of Fnatic with Nighthand in Korea. And this idiot, he was playing as Broodlord and Fester, and he was doing really shit. He was losing every fight, but for some reason, he had macros so bad that he had so much money. What did he do? He started like 5 Nexus on the map, as if he was gonna expand like a macro player. And then when I asked him about it, he was like, yeah, like I wanted to take bases. Fucking
Hey, all these screens
I
are
like
going
your
to die.
Nighthand impression.
I don't think this is, well, I mean, sniping the pylon is pretty awesome, but this was really risky by Snute. If there would have been another pylon nearby, he would have lost both.
But he forced enough units for it to be worth it. Like if you look at the walk accounts, I guess it's okay for Harstem.
I mean, Harstem was on 1 gas for a long time.
Yeah,
which
exactly.
sucks.
I think that is the most important thing, what Ben just mentioned. He was on 4 gates and 1 gas. I think Harstem needs to do more with this than he's done so far.
Yeah, I mean, if there was like another round of Zealots coming in, like even just 2, then this would be actually quite a scary push. But
Yeah, Johan, you know you've been playing way too much Heroes of the Storm if the Muslim is correcting you on your PvZ knowledge.
No, I stand by what I said. Like the walk account is still very even, and I really think that he forced enough units out for it to be worth it.
yeah, I mean, his tech's
Like
really good.
you're never
Like,
gonna
the
be
force
ahead.
is halfway done.
Yeah, like okay, if he had been like very far ahead in walkers, which never happens here, like maybe you would have agreed with me, but I really don't think that taking gases like a little bit late matters here, because like you see he's able to start his +1 anyway, probably gonna go for a 3rd base and blink, so...
Yeah, I mean,
But his
that, like,
blink is going to be so late though, don't you think so, Johan?
yeah,
I'm
that
actually
blinking Colossus that he's got morphing right now, like he's definitely
Yeah, but-
well on tech.
No, all jokes aside, guys, one sec, all jokes aside, I'm actually really surprised you feel that way, Johan. I'm not trying to disagree with you, because I still think you know more about this game than I do, but I personally think that Harstem is in a really bad position here.
Okay.
Like, is
No,
there,
but
is there any way
like
for
I said-
Harstem to die anytime soon? Like, the answer is no. He's still got a pretty scary army, which he can push out and deal a little bit of damage. He's got no way of clearing the creep, which
Yeah,
sucks.
I do really like what Harstem is doing here, like moving out while he's getting stronger units out on the map and while he's stacking up. This is the mistake that Jim made yesterday against TLO. He just gave him way too much time. So I do really like this move out, and this actually has a lot of potential because he has a ridiculous amount of force fields.
You know what I don't like? I don't like his 3rd base position. I don't know why he's taking this one instead of the other one. Like, and somebody like Snute who will go Swarmos no matter what, even if like this wasn't like the theme of the show match. Why would you take this 3rd base rather than the other?
I mean, with the new flying
Easier to
locust,
force field though.
okay, with the new flying locust, let's say you take this base,
Yeah.
you can have your swarm host kind of like around this section, and they could either like choose to go to the main or this 3rd from there.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
then
really
if they do that, you're exposed to like counter attacks, or you can maybe catch some of the Swarmos with like some force field and kill them. Whereas now it's literally like Snute, he could have his Swarmos in his main and snipe that 3rd base.
Did they last
I
that
don't
long?
think I really don't think that Harstem decided his 3rd base on flying locust that he's played against like once. I think it's more that he likes his position more to force field because he was like walking around with 7 or 8 sentries, and I think this base is easier to force field than the other one. But that's I don't know, that's my reasoning.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's a pretty reasonably even game right now. I think like Harstem's getting his tech up. He's getting blink.
He's putting so many gates plus a robo in that 3rd base too. So he's investing so much into it. If this was to get sieged hard and get sniped, then he's lost the game.
It's
I'm
very
always a
risky
bit-
to put your robot there.
Yeah, I'm always a bit curious when people put their tech structures, like their vital tech structures, on like exterior bases like this. Like I know, like the idea is, hey, it means that my Colossi can join my army quicker, kind of thing. But I think just having a robo like here would be totally fine too. And
I agree with you, Ben. I mean, that's also something we saw yesterday in WCS in.
oh,
was it?
Holt against
Jim-
Jim.
Yeah, Jim versus Paul. Like, if he keeps that the robotics facility alive and he can
Different
actually
game.
go up on Colossus, it's a completely different game.
Yeah, by the way, instead of making pure Swarmos, he's getting a few infestors here, Snute. And by the way, like, you better force field quick Harstem here, because there's a lot of units.
Those are pretty neat force fields. And he's got quite a few more.
Yeah.
Hashtag
He
running
doesn't
force
have a-
fields.
He doesn't have an observer with his army, which really stinks. Blink is not ready yet, and a couple of stocks in the low ground. Blink is about to finish up, but this is like the longest second in a Protoss life. It's like blink, blink.
Yeah, it's
I know
actually 20
about to finish
seconds.
up. Well, in my overlay, it looked very
That
close.
hero locust just came in, just popped a stalker.
if Harstem had taken the other base, I feel like he would have so much more mobility to like go around and do what he does. But now like this base is so freaking siegeable that I'm really worried for him when there is going to be like a good Swarmos count, let's say like 10 to 15. Why is he dropping Stalkers, by the way? What the hell?
I know, he just had Stalkers warped in. This is actually quite risky by Snute as well, because the entire army is coming back. I do like it, as long as, man, if these were Zealots indeed in the main, it would have been so much harder to deal with.
He can warp, why isn't he not warping? The army supply, by the way, 118 to 61, so double almost.
But it really doesn't feel like that all the time.
Yeah. But I guess it's mostly because it's just like mass roaches, which take a lot of supply, but now they're gonna get it cleaned up. Harstem is already working on the 4th base. Not gonna do that much in the main, I guess. Like
he didn't really lose many workers either. He's still on 64 against 73. I mean, this warp prism in the main, if he just focused that high, or the lair, like it would have been so much better for him, I think. Like,
yeah, but there was roaches defending. Like you can't expect to really snipe that if the Zerg reacts properly.
It's a risky move. If you get away with it, then it would be fantastic. He did have 4 Zealots, and 4 Zealots put out a lot of damage, so he would be forced to, I think, warp in 2-3 more Zealots, and then I think he would be able to take it. But Snute has also been making a ludicrous amount of Queens throughout all of his games, so maybe Harstem is worried that he warps in like 10 units, and then like 7 Queens show up with 5 Transfuse, and he won't get it, and then you lose the game.
Man, those flying locusts gonna give me nightmares.
They are kind of gross.
They look actually kind of like vipers, but smaller, no?
What is this mosquito that spreads this terrible disease?
His name is Rotti and he's a dragon slayer.
God damn it.
You were asking for it, man.
There was a girl that made a tweet about how she wanted to go dragon slaying, and I had to tag you in that, Rotti. It was so funny.
Yeah, I saw that a while ago. Did she comment on it?
I think she favorited it or something, right? The good old Twitter fave.
You're really shameless, Ben. You follow like so many cosplay
Twitter,
girls,
Ben.
and like you favorite their shit.
Me?
Yeah.
Dude, I just wanted 1337 favorites. I was like I had a plan, okay?
Okay.
But let's be fair, we're all shameless. As soon as
I don't follow girls on Twitter like you do, so not me.
No, I just needed 666 people that I was following, you know, Devil Terran, like.
Yeah. Ben has an explanation for everything.
I got my backup plan, man.
Couple of force fields going. Nah. Most of these roads will get picked off, but Snute is freeing up supply, I think, for Ultras, as his Ultra cover just finished up. The combination of Swarm Host, Flying Locusts and Ultras is a really interesting one.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how that complements each other. But
And the thing is, if you play against pure mass Colossus plus Stalkers, Ultras are pretty good, I think.
I think Snute was extremely far ahead a couple minutes ago, but I think he's like dicking around a little bit, you know, just to have fun with it as well. Didn't want to have a 14-minute game. Because I think if he would have just like kept massing roaches, I think it would have been a good chance he would have won. He was up like 70 supply, which is normally enough to make roaches and win.
We'll see actually how these Colossi do against these flying locusts, like when they land and stuff. Okay, mate, like, I think actually baiting these guys to land with like one Stalker or something, blinking forward, or a Zealot.
I mean, Goody was doing that all the time. He always like eliminated or like separated one siege tank of his army, and that siege tank soaked up all the.
But if you're not next to them when they spawn, then the Zerg can react and not land them. I wonder actually what's the vision of the Locust? Like when they move by themselves on the map and they are flying, is it like do they see really far or not?
Good point. I will actually check it as soon as he spawns.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at like Snute's view. So like Snute's actually he's spreading creep like a madman. So much static. Like, you're really going to need to abuse static defense if you do go for, like, this amount of swarm hosts. This is nice, though, being able to just defend your main with a few flying swarm hosts.
And queens.
Yeah.
Oh,
like, I mean, here, look, he sees that warp prism, he's just like, bloop, okay. Gargoyles go.
Man, Snute really loves queens. He's been making so many freaking queens throughout these games.
He's really good with them. Always moves them well and
ooh, harstem. Harstem's doing a lot of damage everywhere, though. Like, if you're looking from Snute's point of view, like, he's looking everywhere, but Harstem's doing a really good job of attacking.
I think Snute is, like, really trying to deal Swarmos now and see, like... In the old days, I always thought that, like, 20 was sort of the breaking point where Colossus, Stalker, Archon couldn't break Swarmos anymore as soon as like there were Vipers and static defense and stuff. Like I felt anything under 20 was breakable if you had a lot of gateways behind it and like at least 8 Colossus or something. And I think Snute is just going to try to see how many Swarmos he needs to survive against any sort of Protoss army.
I mean, the way that Harstem's doing this, because of the like cooldown now for those locusts, 60 seconds, these counterattacks with all these zealots everywhere, it just means that, hey, he can attack every base, deal damage, and use them like a Zerg would normally use locusts, you know, while he's expanding all over the map. Like,
and I mean, and this goes back to the point we made earlier, where Swarmos cost force supply now, so it's actually harder for Snute to cover himself everywhere.
right.
Unless you just like spine crawler up like a madman, which slowly but steady he's trying to do. But in the old days, you know, you left a few units here, you left a few units there, but the Swarmos increasing in supply really makes it so much more difficult because you do need an actual army in the middle of the map as well.
One thing I've noticed too, when the or when the locusts land, it takes like a second for them to start dealing damage, which
that is something that I think could be changed as well in the future. I think Blizzard is also just going to try to see how this plays out, but if everybody hates the new Swarmos and all Zerg players complain about it, there's a good chance they will address that and make them attack a little quicker. For instance, like Broodlords, when they shoot their Broodlings, you know, they do a landing strike damage. That's something that could potentially
Let's look at the vision on the right. Yeah, they do see not very far, but decently far.
No, they don't see shit.
That's pretty bad.
They see a little bit.
I think it's very bad, mate. This is like Mothership Core vision, or even less.
They're decent for like scouting out bases
No,
and
please.
stuff,
Mothership Core.
Look, this is like a tiny little
oh,
circle.
this is nice though, like this fungal combo with the flying locust. But I mean, fungal's good with anything, so...
Abduct, maybe on the War Prism? There we go.
That's really funny.
Hey, those run-bys starting to do less and less top right, but Snute, he's not left too much. I don't understand. When you have so much money, why don't you make mass static defense somewhere, like be safe? Has Snute never watched one of my Warcraft games?
I don't
The
think
first
he did.
IEM champion right here, laying down the knowledge bombs.
The glory days of you and Melo.
By the way, we're going to have a Tempest transition by the look of things.
I think
Have they changed
I think
the
one of
messages?
Todd's favorite stories of all time, and I think this is the moment where Todd started liking me, is that one day I felt very confident in my orc versus human. and then I went up to Todd, I was like, yo, I bet I will beat you. And then Todd is like, yeah, sure. I was like, I'll bet you €50 if we play in this tournament, I'll beat you. And Todd is like, lol, okay. So then we actually met up in like the second round, or the first round of this European Battle.net Invitational Final. And then Todd 2-0'd me, and I had to pay him €50. I did.
He wanted himself to add an extra bounty to the game. So.
Todd is like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to beat you. And then I didn't kill a freaking unit. And I think that is the moment where I stole Todd's heart as a good degenerate. And back then, €50 was like a lot of money for me as well. Like, it was a really big thing.
It didn't seem like it. You were like, okay,
No, I was
€50.
just that confident I was going to win. Like, I never lost against human. I really thought I had you.
You were like, I think human was your best matchup for a long time though. Well, like orc when it was Farseer days.
Hey.
Yeah, these locusts suck, dude. When they land, look.
Yeah, did you see though? They were on the ground. Like he dropped them on the ground behind him, and then he could already pull back. So like catching the Swarmos is pretty much impossible. It really feels like even though you know like they have a much longer spawn time, you're gonna have to play around them a lot to win a game.
I think one of the biggest issues with the Swarmos against Protoss for the Zerg side is that they indeed, as soon as they land, they all kind of clump up, and then the Colossus swipes, like, they do damage in a linear area, right? So they do damage to, like, every single locust, pretty much. While normally, you know, if you spread the Swarmos out well, Colossus just kind of shoot at 2 locusts at a time, and now they often hit, like, 6 to 8, which makes it so much easier for, you know, Protoss to clean this up. And like Ben mentioned as well, that it takes, like, a second for them to shoot, or if you mentioned it, Todd. Like, these locusts, they just don't really deal damage.
Oh, kill his own observer. Yeah, right now.
Like, if these locusts are on the ground all along, okay, it's really, like, if they actually fight, they do a lot of damage, but most of the time they'll just die before they even scratch this Protoss army.
One of the crazy things, though, for Harstem is, like, I don't think he's ever going to be able to kill these swarm hosts, ever. Like, I think they're going to be useful throughout the whole game. Like, he's clearing up static here and stuff, but all it takes is one good engagement from Snute, where he gets, like, a 180-degree concave with these locusts.
He's getting Mutas, by the way.
Looks like he's going for.
Where is he getting Mutas?
But that is like the way that the old Swarmos work, you know? You just move them, reposition, and every wave will chip away a little bit of this Protoss army.
360-degree locust surround, is this going to be
Okay,
it?
with Blinding Cloud as well, maybe this is the dream? Is this
I think this is the
third
dream.
one?
Oh
It's
my
the dream.
god.
Well, if this doesn't kill it, they will never kill it.
Oh my,
That's
look how much
really
damage they're
sick.
doing.
Okay,
And the Mutas swoop in as well. They're gonna shoot down some of these units.
Oh my god.
Where's the Grand Army, man?
Okay,
Dude.
well, that was fucking beautiful by Snute though.
And 14 Mutas now in the production for Snute.
That was really cool.
And he preserved his entire Swarmos count as well while holding this. No one of them died. So he can not only pressure with them somewhere, but he's gonna have the Mutas to clean up those Void Rays and counterattack.
Okay,
Man,
so Swarmos positioning is truly more important than it's ever been before.
way more. Like
It was already kind of important how you position them.
Yeah, but like it takes way more skill to like
Yeah,
spread
yeah.
them out like this.
Wow.
GG.
That was
GG.
really sick.